I would like to introduce topic the use of GIS in renewable energy specialist learning. The global trend of recent decades in the gradual replacement of traditional energy sources with renewable ones for improving the environment, climate change prevention, and others. Even technologies that help increase the efficiency of renewable energy resources GIS systems that offers a lot of functionality of the internalization cycle. In particular, for solar generation, GIS can be used for solving difficulties of remote monitoring of sites allocated for solar power plants and assessment of their suitability. Effective management of information on the operation of stations, production and distribution of electricity in real time. Planning and management of energy production resources. With the development of GIS, scientists and energy professionals are finding new and new applications in the fields of RER. At the same time, it is important to pay attention to the need for high-quality training of highly qualified specialists in the field of RER. The educational and professional training program for study in Measure 141 electricity, electrical engineering and electromechanics is focused on training primarily competent professionals who have developed professional competencies in the fields of RER, capable of designing, creating and operating power plants using renewable energy sources. As can be seen from the slide, such specialists are trained in 8 higher education institutions in Chernivtsi, Kherson, in Kiev, in KPI, in Kharkiv Aviation Institute and Kharkiv National University named after Beketov, in Dnipro Polytechnic, in Odessa Polytechnic, and in Ivano-Frankivsk. Learning process takes place according to the educational programs of the first bachelor's, second master's, and third educational scientific levels of higher education. One of the areas of the potential application of knowledge of future specialists is social environmental, which should address issues related to the efficient use of natural resources, environmental protection, and the openness of government, land management, and more. The functionality of GIS is as follows: first, data entry by importing from exciting digital data sets or by digitizing sources, data conversion, converting data from one format to another, transforming map projection, changing coordination systems, storing, manipulating, and managing data in internal and external databases. Metric operation, geodetic data processing operation, overlay operation, cartographic algebra operation. Spatial analysis, a group of functions that provides analysis of the location relationships or other spatial relationships of objects. Spatial modeling, geomodeling operations similar to those used in mathematical cartographic modeling and cartographic research methods, visualization of input, derivative or final data, cartographic visualization design, and creation of cartographic images. Output of data, graphic, tabular, and textual documentation, including its reproduction, documentation, and generation of reports, and maintenance of decision-making processes. As it is shown on the slide, and according to the author, they need to study GIS by future specialists in the field of RER and justified at least by professional conditionality and orientation, social significance, and professional demand. The purpose of the discipline is to acquaint future engineers with the theoretical, methodological, and technological basis of the creation and operation of geographic information system, mastering the general principle of work and gaining practical skills in using GIS to solve applied problems. Such tasks include acquisition by application of knowledge and skills necessary to work with modern geographic information systems, formation of skills of future specialists in the practical use of standard geographic information system to solve applied problems, in particular use of mapping skills in the design and operation of alternative energy station, use of instruments of geospatial measurements on the Earth's surface, assessment of the suitability of land allocation for alternative energy stations, vectorization and geometrization of areas located for renewable energy sources, analysis of climatic conditions and the impact on the georesource plantation of the environment, and others. A table describes the introduction of the discipline GIS for RERs, specialists in the educational process of training specialists in the field of RERs, pursues three groups of goals. Based on the results of the analysis and the task of developing professional competencies within the discipline, the author's team chose the leading toolkit of the course SAGA-GIS as follows: System for automated geoscientific analysis. GIS is specialized software designed for scientific geospatial analysis and modeling of open source data. Availability of the necessary functionality for training needs. The next types of data are supported: bitmaps, tables, and database, ERS data, vector, objective points, lines, polygon shapes, TIN classes. Metadata. Legal and free use of software for the need of the education process, used under the GNU General Public License. Measurements of the area of CAC, Starokozacha, Ukraine, Odessa region, using Google Earth, and determining the average level of precipitation in Ukraine in the first quarter of this year, December, January, and February. As for the conclusion, can be started that today GIS is only gaining momentum in Ukraine, which is facilitated by several factors. First is the reform of most branches of government in order to make their work more transparent and therefore efficient. Secondly, the development of an appropriate legislative framework as well as the formation of a unified strategy for the development of the digital economy. For Ukraine, the use of GIS for the most part characterized by the following characteristics. Narrow coverage. There is a significant growth potential, tendencies to develop their own software products based on exciting GIT. GIS is not universal or in nature, but is aimed at solving specific problems. They use for the most part of information and reference and cartographic functions. Insufficient use of the potential of the analytic capabilities of modern GIS. The feature of the systems are cross-platforms. They use for web service and cloud technologies and integration with geospatial database. Thank you for your attention. The team of authors who prepared this publication and report is presented on the slide.